And then like 3 a.m. in the morning, like I started to feel cramps. Like this is I know when I'm ovulating, like when I'm ovulated, I get cramps, like terrible, terrible cramps. It's almost like stitches pain, but it's cramps and it's terrible. When the test line is darker than the control line, then that means your ovulation is about to begin. Pretty much, you're actually ovulating, but the egg is about to release like 24 to 48 hours. But the good thing about it, as I said, I already baby dance. When I see the two lines, which the control line and the test line was the same color, that means it's the start of something. But the next day when I woke up, it was actually 2 point something. So I'm like, okay, that means something's about to begin. So we baby dance. The following night, like still late. We do like one time a day, like maybe 10, 11. Yeah, and then the next day, the test line was still darker than the control line, but it wasn't 2 point something. It was like 1 point something, but it was still high. And also baby dance that night. So I'm like, okay. And then the fourth day when I've tested, I can see the test line was starting to get light. So, I'm like, okay, at least we caught something maybe. So the only thing was there to do now, the weight. So with the weight, which that's the hardest. I don't know about you guys, that's one of the hardest things. Like I don't mind. I will get up each day and do an ovulation test. I don't mind. But for the waiting process, actually take a pregnancy test, that shit is hard. That is the hardest thing I have to do. But so this is not one DPO. So one DPO, I just document as I go, just in case. And from 1 to 3 DPO to be exact, I remember one DPO I had cramps. I'm like, maybe it's the after cramps of my ovulation, but I had cramps. 2, 3 DPO, I had the same cramps. It wasn't that harsh, but it was not really bearable. But I tried to bear it because I'm like, this should be a good thing. So like 1 to 3, I kept feeling like cramps in my lower abdomen, I think, and it was like a tingly pulling feeling. Like I can't describe it, but it was something weird happening in my belly at the moment. But to myself, I'm like, maybe this is a good sign. This is something good. Maybe this is something that's actually happening, hopefully. But the fourth DPO, fifth DPO, things started getting very mild. Very little to none cramps, like very every now and then. Judge me. I think I started testing at 4 DPOs. I did say the weight was terrible for me. So yeah, but of course I did not record it because of course I'm gonna look crazy. But I started testing at 4 DPOs, nothing. But as I said, 4, 5, 6, 7, I started to feel little to none symptoms, no cramps, no nothing. Then that's when I started to become worried. I'm like, man, there's nothing happening, because I used to watch people's symptoms on TikTok and stuff like that, and people be saying at those times they're having this kind of cramps, tender breast. My breast was doing nothing, like nothing at all. So in 7 DPOs, and if you guys watch my past videos, like you guys will see on 7 DPO, I got the faintest of line. But the thing is, so I work from home, and like whenever I get up in the morning, I would test like 2-3 times a day. As I said, I am a pregnancy test addict. Don't judge me, you guys. But whenever I get up like 8 in the morning. Whenever I get up in the morning, I would like take a pregnancy test, which I took a pregnancy test that 7 DPOs in the morning, nothing. It was 7 DPO in the evening after I finished working, like around 6. That's 6, 7, 8. Those time, that's when I took a pregnancy test, and I realized there was actually something. I was seeing something through the camera on my test, which was very rare, because I don't normally see those kind of stuff. So of course I was excited. I had to take another test a little bit later on, like in the night. It was nothing, you guys. And my first and this time I was testing with the cheapies, pre-mom, that I got from Amazon. When I retest, there was nothing. Then I started to, because I was really excited. So bear in mind, at this point, my excitement got very low. Of course, then, I had to good conversation with God, and it went from there. And then the next day in the morning, I test nothing, like nothing. In the night, 8 DPOs. I don't remember getting nothing again, still nothing. Bear in mind, I was not even seeing these lines that I was seeing for 7 DPOs at one time. I'm like, something should be happening. But then, 9 DPOs, AM in the morning, still negative. Like, there wasn't even the faintest of line. You guys, I'm like, was that a bad test? I was starting to think that was a bad test, just that one bad test, which, if that was a bad test, I wanted all of them to be a bad test to keep me thinking, to keep me my thoughts. But, 9 DPO AM, there was still nothing. At this point, I only had one test left. So, at this point, my, patience became, through everything went through the roof. I decided that's it. This is a fail, because I'm a type of tester. Once it gets to 9 DPO, like, I don't really like testing. After that, maybe test, off cameras, but I don't like testing and recording. Like, I no longer have interest. Like, it just killed my whole vibe. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. So if my 9 DPOs and I don't get even the faintest of line, I normally give up and like call it, like, that's it for this cycle. But afterward, I think I was finished working my very last test. After I was finished working, I decided I'm gonna take a 9 DPO, evening test. My last test, I'm like, it is whatever, this is my last test, let's just get it out of the way. I'm not even gonna wait till the other day. I test, and I was sitting in this very spot, and I was looking, because I'm the type, I can't test, I can't dip and then, wait for the result. Like, no, I have to be watching. So I sat in this very spot, and I watched that test. And the moment I was watching that, guys, like within a minute or so, I started to see the faintest of line. But not only the faintest of line, it not only looked like a shadow, there was actually a little color, there was a little something that was going on, which I'm like, I started to get excited. I'm like, I kept rubbing my eyes. I'm like, wait, is that something? I just, like, I was filled with so many emotions. Like, I wanted to believe, I wanted not to believe. I don't know if I should believe. I just don't know what to do. Then, after the test was finished developing, my excitement was this high again. I was so happy. But then, guys, it was my last test.